Alright, so I'm in the bathroom at Starbucks. It gets real, real, real. And I want to discuss male versus female beauty. This is a concept I invented based off, when you grow up and you learn certain concepts like being an inbreed, and you start really analyzing humans and our features and our appearance and our appeal. You'll realize that some people get more attention for their looks than others. As you get older, you'll appreciate life, and that shouldn't matter. But in actuality, it does, because it's a representation of who you are and what you represent. And basically, a lot of people are. You can tell when people work out by, you know, the way that they look. Sometimes, when I see people with veins popping out and stuff, I be like, "There are they?" Um, it's a sign. I think body fat represents the fact that people who don't eat right, or they're stressed, or you know what I'm saying. When you look bloated, I think there's a sense of normalcy that people have when it comes to, like, you know the way your appearance is. So that's why people do petty things like judge you for that, because when it comes to male beauty, that's something I can never compete with, and I think that's going to be a downfall for me in life, as far as my career and just in a general sense. Being a female has been a very humbling experience. I'm definitely being rejected because of that fact, and I'm like, you know all these men are getting uplifted, and I definitely can see a difference. I mean, I see men that are in shape and some that aren't in shape, and I'm like, why is it all these people that look like they're on a pedestal, and then why are all these people over here smoking cigarettes? And it's just like, the more you see people just in different situations, you like, damn, you'll just never know. You could be a depressed rich person, or broke, you know, poor person, or I mean, not a depressed rich person or a happy broke person. You know what I'm saying? It's all in the specifics of your life, and the standards that are placed on your mind, or the stipulations, or the connotations, or whatever. My, I'm a black woman, so I think when it comes to fast food, I usually, there is a stigma with us, and I see women that are going down in history as far as cooking and things, and feminism is all I have. And I'm basically was telling my manager that I grabbed two books out of the library off of a superstition. Like, I basically, you know, just went in, closed my eyes, and grabbed two books, and it happened to be about food. So I was like, I might as well study the physics of it, and get to exercising my mind. Now that I'm being talked out of liking the feminine tone that comes with femaleness, this is a very depressing thing for me. I'm like, the fate of my life have led me to reject my femalehood. And I'm like, it is because of people, that obviously had more perfect lives than me and things of that nature. Like, when I was a kid trying to create a social life for myself, I realized that people come from different situations. A person can be a manager, or whatever it is that they do, have certain qualities, and you just have to realize that that's what going to be my downfall, is the fact that I deal with depression, and I've got people that really, heteronormity, that enjoy a male appearance, people that grow up that are richer than you, that may have access to a better quality of life, or not just about having financial stability, but just wealth and just intellectualism. There are people that really want to keep control of neighborhoods and things like that, so they put standards on people. Because I often wonder, like, why do we have this project mentality, and then we go up the street? It's all about how you look at things. People can live in, if you want to live in some upscale, what you call, if you got to differentiate poorness between poorness and upscale, because a building can look, anybody can make something look crazy. Like, it's all about the community. You can make the outside of a building look fucked up. Like they say, don't judge a book by its cover, but on the inside, that shit be decked out in the middle of the ghetto. You know, I walked up the street and I seen the building and you have to put a card to get in. It's beautiful, just like this bathroom. Like, I wonder what kind of switch that is. I'm learning, you know, the semantics of all this shit, construction and everything. I'm like, I'm working at Walmart, but I'm looking at some of these buildings and I'm like, they have a lot of appeal. They're gonna be worth a lot just on a wellness scale. On a wealthy, in a general sense, as far as wealth is concerned, I would definitely take some of these buildings more seriously based off their looks. And that's why I'm like, when it comes to McDonald's and stuff, a lot of people be like, you're a fast food worker. They created a paradigm that it's like a low class type situation. And that McDonald's up the street from your ghetto could mean the world to you. But I'm in a Starbucks. As soon as you put a Starbucks down the street, that's how it works. The caste system and all that shit, like with the Indians and all that. Somebody in here. It's like, I ate some Zaxby's the first time when I was in 6th grade. And I'm like, it was just another restaurant that I ate at. I was living in Atlanta, and I'm like, it was like some bougie shit to me, just like the first time I ate Chick-fil-A. But when you start learning the semantics of all this shit, you realize that some of these businesses been around a lot. And shit, there's a restaurant in everybody. A lot of people like shit. I sell the shit out of my house to people that are poverty stricken, that don't know how to, socialize in environments where there is a upper class or a better educational status when it comes to people's mindsets and stuff like that. So that's why I get so mad, because I'm like, my mom and dad made sure I grew up in the Atlanta area, and I'm pretty sure some of those people were not viewing it as a lower class, place, but it has a lot of history, so you gotta respect it. But the outside of the Buckhead and stuff is supposed to be an upper class, you know, place to live in the Atlanta area. But I actually enjoy the Powder Springs area. It is upper scale to me. It has a different vibe. I grew up in Atlanta, and I'm like, the more you learn about the history of the city, you feel that. You see what I'm saying? You feel that wholeheartedly. And when you go to Cobb County, in certain places like Powder Springs and Kennesaw, you got your little golf courses. It's a little bit upscale, but I'm pretty sure there are way more better places that I'll never know about until I start traveling, that I can go to. And that's what I want to do. I'm like, at some point, I want to get on a Greyhound and be able to have me a house all the way in Nebraska or somewhere. You know what I'm saying? In the middle of nowhere, that's decked out in a good suburban neighborhood. Like, it's a neighborhood in Powder Springs, Georgia. Like, if you ever go to Georgia, check out Lost Mountain. That's a nice neighborhood. But I'm like, when you talking about big shit, like Master P, how I'm living type shit, it probably some neighborhoods that get a little better than that. Like, way better, bigger housing and shit like that. That's the type of shit you want. So yeah, man, you're selling yourself, and that's what I'm saying. Like, being a woman, I'm actually, you know, that's actually a downfall for me. I can go places and it can be family business. There's people known at certain restaurants. My whole family works here, and we've been, some people in the community that just have taken over, and everybody knows who we are and all that stuff. So that's what I have to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Respect. So I'm like, the fact that I'm not a man, it's just like, I just be feeling sorry for it sometimes. I'm like, that's what having money and stuff, when you do get it, some people do deserve it, because they went through so much shit. Once they get it, they can't even enjoy it. When I say enjoy it, there's a sense of happiness that you will lack. That's why I regretted my life as a woman, because all the men in my life were just being men, and I was just supposed to be a woman. And then all of a sudden, these people, I don't blame them for what they were doing and shit, protesting, rioting, whatever the fuck they got going. Took a stand up against my, lack of submission based off the fate of my life. And I'm like, I'm viewing myself as coming from dysfunction. I don't want to be a part of none of the shit y'all got going on. But if you that man in your community, then that's how you are. Listen to some of these rap music. I'm an intellect. I listen to it. When you got people like Boosie and Quit talking about they that nigga, that's how they feel. You go pull up to some random projects, that's how niggas be feeling. I'm that nigga. That's how niggas is. Niggas be having the time of their life. It's about family. That's what I'm missing. Because I'm like, once these people have families, develop families, they rebuild their little projects, or you rebuild your own house. And they expect you to be respectful with them. When I seen people ganging up on me based off the nature of, my life and my existence, I was like, damn, it's really how it's going to be. A lot of people in my life are retarded. All that rings in my head. That's why it's hard for me to articulate and really get into it, because I'm sitting here rejecting the essence of my womanhood, and then on top of that, I'm jealous of men. There have been various men that I've compared myself to, but you have to enjoy it. Like, I'm trying to enjoy the art of the Southern Belle, because I studied people a lot, like Oprah. I really got into it. I find myself talking like her sometimes. I'm like, some people really do come off like that, but it's raw for them. But I'm like, I gotta get out of that. I'm like, because at the end of the day, growing up, that's how I really felt like shit was. Fucking Little House on the Prairie, The Color Purple. I really felt like that's how I was being looked upon. But in reality, we human beings, we are all the same. You just gotta figure out how to detox your mind from bullcrap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, being a woman, I'm trying to make it a special thing, but it ain't nothing special to me, especially when it comes to life. I'm like, I see some men enjoy their life, and I'm be like, man, that nigga's gonna die happy as hell. But when you think about the dysfunctionality in it, you be like, but you sitting here, both of y'all sitting here putting y'all dick in the same pussy holes. That is attacking their ego, though, because we come from a community like that. And like, some of these women got their own shit going on, and these men do too. You can't tame each other. You wanted to probably try to have a perfect life and be monogamy, but it don't work like that. Sometimes tit for tat, tat for tit, and it just doesn't work like that. I'm like, I be seeing people run game and shit, and I be like, why is this person like that? Why is this person like this? You got to get to know people. Yeah, being a woman, I know motherfuckers gonna be judgmental, but shit, it's all good. Cause I'm like, I'm a whole nigga in the mind though. I be telling little folks, I always bring up Aunt Jemima. I'm like, man, these folks, I don't know if they still alive or not, but these are the people that we simply enjoy and that we try to enjoy as intellects. Growing up in the ghetto, growing up in the suburbs, wherever you grow up at. I don't know, I think so hard about shit. Ain't nothing wrong with being a thinker, cause thinkers win. That's the slogan for the week, for the life right there. Thinkers win. I'm in a Starbucks restaurant and it's beautiful. So keep your head up. Talk to myself and everybody else. Thinkers win.